Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to it, we're in a different location. That's because I have moved home for the summer. But anyway, that's a minor issue. On other notes, I've done it again. But this time bigger and better. And you might be like, what have you done? Well, I've read a book in an entire day. Said book is 640 pages long. I am very impressed with myself. Look at the heft on this book. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about The Things I Wanted to Say by Monica Murphy. If you did not know, Monica Murphy is one of my favourite authors of all time. My favourite book of her is A Million Kisses. I'm slowly reading through the Lancaster Prep series because I love her writing. I don't know what it is about it. I just love reading her books. And this is testament to that. But anyway, let's get into the book. So, Lancaster Prep series, all about the school Lancaster Prep. And normally one of the main characters in the love triangle or love relationship will be a Lancaster. Lancasters are these really old, wealthy family in America in this book series. Anyway, this one features Whit Lancaster. He's the heir to the Lancaster fortune, and cold, recluse, and dark. Our leading girl is Summer Savage, she has her dad's last name, even though she wants her mum's, but her dad left, and it's the only thing she has of her dad's, basically. Her mum is a prolific mistress. By the end of the book, the amount of that woman loves a good married man. The key relationship we see her in with Summer's stepdad, he was originally married to another woman. She was the mistress, had the affair, he got married to her. Whilst she was married to that dude, she was having an affair with Whit Lancaster's dad. Something else, the entire affair. Broke up that marriage, broke up her marriage, there was a fire. I'll get into that. And then, by the end of the book, we see her also canoodling with another married man, and eventually the married man breaking up his marriage and marrying her. That woman just caused a scandal, and I kind of love her for it. But anyway, our main girl is Summer. I love Summer. Summer is also dark because of how her stepbrother treated her. I'm going to go up and say this now. There are mentioning of sexual assaults in this book. There is also mentionings of people blackmailing, manipulation. It is a dark book. This book borders the territory of dark romance just because we never see any of it. It's not heavily implied, it is clearly stated through the girl's journal, because she journals everything, all her thoughts, feelings, and everything that goes on in her life before she meets Whit Lancaster again for the second time, and her stepbrother did some disgusting things to her. And there was no one there in her life, because her mother was off having an affair and also in a marriage. And she was basically left unattended alone, and the stepbrother, who is 3 years older, I might add, took advantage of that. So, fair warning, this will come up as it goes in. This is also a heavy smut content book. All Monica Murphy books are. That woman is incapable of not writing a book about smut, but she writes smut very compelling, so heavy warnings out the way. But anyway, let's get it started. The start of this book starts out with the past. I honestly love the fact that it starts out with the past when we get into the book, because we get context of how they first meet. We get context of the mum and the dad's relationship. We get context of Summer and who she is as a person. We get context of Whit. And from the start, they're both described as having a darkness on their souls and being very akin to each other and having a magnetic connection to each other almost. And we get to see that throughout. And basically, the next chapter is stepdad's dead, stepbrother's dead because there's been a fire, okay? The mum's in a massive scandal because it came out that she's been sleeping with Whit's dad, okay? Massive scandal. Summer stays out of most of it because she doesn't have her mum's last name, and her mum has tried all her best to keep her daughter out of it. But, straight off because of the affair, Summer now gets to go to Lancaster Prep because her stepdad was on the board for another school, and basically she just got told, you're going Lancaster Prep now. She doesn't want to do it. She lost her friends. She's been in a very dark place. She's lost all her friends, and when we get there, we get the meeting in the school where it's like, she had good grades, but she was a troubled kid. Smoking, prolific actions, just like, she was very troublesome. She got suspended a lot. She got in trouble a lot. And there was clearly, but she was having good grades as well, so there's clearly signs of something was going on there. But anyway, we get her in school. We get her and Whit bumping into each other. Now, when they first meet, Whit decides to enact a rule because he has had Summer on his brain his entire life. Well, since the day they met, 3 years ago, and he's never been able to get her out of his brain. Okay? It's like she's there, and it's like they're connected, essentially. And when she gets there, she obviously is the daughter of the mistress, the person who broke up his parents' marriage, and he's angry. His parents are now going through a divorce, but pretending everything's okay for the press. And everything in his life is not going that great because he is having to step up because his dad's never really around. And honestly, he has a lot of pressure on him as an heir, as someone who's supposed to get married to someone he does not know or does not like. So, when Summer arrives, the daughter of the mistress, he's like, I don't like you, but you're always on my brain. So he enacts law because he is the heir and he is at his family school. No one is allowed to talk to her when they first get there. Basically, he cuts off everyone around her, so no one can ever talk to her, okay? And it progressively gets worse until the point where people start pushing, hurting her, thinking they can take advantage of her because there's no one going to be there to protect her. To one point, one of the male characters even grabs her and goes, and tries to proposition her. She says no. Rightly so. She is a queen because she goes and kicks him in the balls, and I love her for it because she does defend herself and runs away. Whip finds out about this and it's like he draws a line in the sand, like, no, you don't do that to someone. Like, don't show your face around me. Again, this guy does not take it well, threatens, saying, I'm going to sleep with her before you do, and then, because he's a disgusting human being, and then appears to her in a dark shadow with a townie to beat her up severely. Well, Wit saves her. They have this whole thing in the brain, and someone's like, you're so injured, you might have cracked a rib and everything, and he's like, just help me get to the dorm. And she's like, no, I'm going to take you back to mine because we're not going to make it all the way there because you're bleeding and I can't carry you that far. Anyway, we get a scene where they were in the dorm. They start to connect and they have situations there. So they don't ever fully go all the way until a lot later in the book, but there's a romantic tension and like there's tension within that, and that's kind of where this book begins. It begins very soon, honestly. But after that night, Whit looks through the room to find something to blackmail her with because he's like, I need her in her life, but I need control in sort of way because he has no control. And he needs control because that's kind of his whole thing. And that's where he finds a journal titled The Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did. And the journal is basically her entire life story with all her dark secrets in. And then the kind of situation from there on out is him basically going, I have your journal. Kind of blackmail-y, but kind of not. You know when you read a book and it's a fine line between like, that doesn't seem right, and like, no, that's fine. It's kind of like that, because it's kind of blackmail-y, but she wants so, because she feels the same connection. And it's like their cop-out excuse for it, because they hate each other. But they also are really attracted to each other, and it's basically just hate sex and anger sex. And like, he's very possessive over her. And a lot of his chapters, it's him going, but she's mine, in some form, iteration. It always leads back to he views her as his, and that they're supposed to have some sort of connection. And basically, all that drama happens, and that's a lot of the key things. During this time, Summer also becomes friends with Sylvie. Sylvie is Wit's younger brother, and is supposed to be very sickly, and she is preparing for death, basically. I kind of want to read her book next, but she's basically preparing for death. She's not supposed to live that long. She's not even hopeful that she's going to make it to 18, and she's very much in the mindset of, I want to live life. And we have that whole friendship going on as well, where Summer actually adores her. She wants to be her close friend, but she doesn't fully trust her, because she's like, are you doing this because you want to be my friend, or are you doing this in some relationship to Wit? And she's always a bit on edge. But eventually they become very close friends. We get this entire stuff of things. Then it gets to the breaking point where they eventually call it off, because he's getting too emotionally attached, and so is she. So then they end up fighting and breaking it off. He does not know how to break it off correctly, though, because when they do, he gets angry whenever men are near her. He gets possessive of her, because he's like, I don't want other people with her. It makes me physically upset to picture her with someone else, because he refuses to acknowledge his feelings. Okay? But anyway, we get the Halloween scene. Halloween was awful. I did not like the Halloween scene. I liked the outcome of the Halloween scene. I kind of hated it, though, because Summer is someone who wants attention and wants love, because she does not get it. And that is shown when you see the glimpses of her journal from Wit's perspective. She's never really shown love or attention. She just wants someone to notice her, someone to be there for her, and someone to care for her. And that is shown through her relationships she gains with people, and how no one actually truly cares. And she just wants someone to notice her and care for her. So then it leads her to doing things that push people away, but also bring more attention to herself. And I find it very, very sad for her character that it's gotten to that point, because even when we get into the later chapters where there's resolve with her mum, there's no real resolve. But anyway, all of Halloween happens, that all goes, and like, from that point on, she doesn't really see Wit around at all. Wit has another girl around with him all the time. She's upset about this. She kind of is recluding herself. Sylvie is in and out of school with her illness, so she's basically all alone in the school. And then it comes to Thanksgiving. Her mum does not want her. Her mum has decided she's going on holiday. She does not want to be with her. Bearing in mind, she lives at boarding school. Her mum has not seen her since the start of school. Or anything. And she's just like, nah. Okay? And basically, from there, Sylvie comes back to school the day before they all leave. He's like, oh my god, you should come to Thanksgiving with me. Because I don't want to be alone in the house with my parents and my brother. You should come to Thanksgiving with me. And ends up dragging her along. But the problem is, Wit will be there. It's also weird to find out that Wit and Summer share the same birthday. Iconic. They are yet meant to be. Because both of them are still at this point. We get chapters indicating that those two still can't get each other out of their mind. However, at Thanksgiving, they get to the dinner and everything. And, like, obviously, Sylvia brought Summer along because it would piss off her mum. Because she's bringing along the daughter of the mistress who broke up her mum's marriage. And, like, Summer was, like, on the fence of not going, but Sylvia was like, please, you'll save me. You need to come along. Sylvia was very much, in this case, kind of using Summer because she wants to push her mum away, which is fair. But all of that said, though, she brings her along, and then she has to sit at the dinner with Wit, Wit's father, Wit's mother, Sylvie, and as well, Wit's future wife, who has been predetermined since he was a young child. Sit there and touch each other, be close, and she's just like, I can't do this. This hurts because I care so much about him. And like, wherever she leaves that guy, till it all comes out and they end up doing it in the bathroom of the dinner. But then also it sparks a change. It's like they keep doing it whilst they're on the break together, and to the point where Wit is like, I don't want to marry this woman. I have no connection to her. I have no feelings for her. Can't marry this woman. There also is a great scene at a party where we meet Monty. I love Monty. Basically, they're at this big fancy party. Wit is there, and a woman is trying to flirt with him, just like, maybe we should try and be together after Wit has basically gone, I don't want to be with this other woman. I don't want to marry someone I don't love. And basically he's gone to a party and they're like, oh, your future wife is here. She's up doing prolific drugs up in the bathroom. She's doing the white powder drugs up in the bathroom. This is also where we find out the future wife has a serious drug problem, which is later explained and makes sense. But he's like, she's not my future wife. And then she's like, oh, I should go tell her that then. She doesn't know, does she? I should go tell her that. And she's like, don't. And he's like, don't tell her that. It hasn't been like confirmed with our parents yet. Don't go tell her that. And she's like, well, if you do it with me, I won't tell her. And she's like trying to hang off him. And this is where Summer walks in, sees this, and it hurts her because the mum has already gone, he's only going to be interested in you in a little bit before he starts getting with another woman. So that's on her mind. She sees this, she gets upset, runs, in heels, by the way, in very, like, thick, high heels. And she runs, and she meets Monty. Monty. I love Monty. Monty is the, like, kind of, he is described in a way of that he is flamboyant in his mannerisms. He's, like, old money, but suave in a way. He loves fashion, but he's, like, a genius because he's from MIT. Because he's studying at MIT. And I love his character. He's just iconic in all his lines he has, because he just appears every now and again. And he's like a fairy godmother, honestly, because he picks her back up. He's like, I will be that, I will walk you back into the party, you will be... Because he's like the brother of the person who's hosting the party. And basically, when this happens, obviously, everyone's attention is out on her because she's entering with Monty. So, what does Wit do? Wit walks up, storms and claims her as his own and goes, no one else go near her, because yet again he is jealous that other people are looking at her. And like, we're at the point where we're like, oh, maybe they'll actually start dating. Maybe they'll actually get to put a label on their relationship, because they both feel like this undeniable magnetic connection to each other. It's like they're made for each other, and they both say it in their chapters. But that can't happen, because when someone gets back to the house the next day, she can't, and obviously Wit's having a meeting with the dad to continue the conversation of, I don't want to, like, be with this woman. I don't want to, like, have arranged marriage. What does the mum do? When the mum confronts her and says to her, she gets upset. But then the sister does that the next day, obviously. So, like, you had the day before where the mum's gone that. And the sister has done the exact same thing because she's annoyed at her for spending time with her brother. Even though Summer states, like, every time I try to go near her, she ignores me. But she's with Hunter all the time as well. But every time I try to go near her, she ignores me. And, like, she just says horrible things to her, all at her, basically saying that her brother doesn't care about her, no one cares about her, you're just a plaything for all of us. And she gets upset. And she's like, I think you should leave. So she runs upstairs, goes to pack her bag. And that's when the mum calls her into the room. The mum calls her over, like, come talk to me in my salon. When a rich person starts salon, I know something evil's going to happen, and something did. She found the journal, and she found the end of the journal, which had incriminating evidence, because she thinks she killed everyone in the fire, because her brother was doing stuff to her. She wanted out, but no one was there to support her, give her attention, or help her cabin out, so she kicked over a candle as she left the room when the stepbrother did stuff to her. And she believes that's the reason why the fire caught, and everyone died. It's like, I'll send this to the arsonist report on your case. Oh, maybe I should just send it to the press. And she's like, don't do that, you're destroying my family's life and everything. And, like, someone's already consumed with guilt about this, and she's just like, leave. And literally just like, leave. And so Summer does. Summer runs away. She packs all her stuff. Doesn't take a single thing anyone in that household has ever given her. She only takes her own stuff and just leaves. Okay, and she ends up going to her mum's apartment. Anyway, then we get Stephen Whit there, and Whit's like, where's Summer? He's like searching throughout the house because it's like, I'm going to find her, she's going to jump in my arms, I'm going to kiss her, and then we're going to be happy because I want to go see her, and he can't find her anywhere. And then he finds her room. There's just a clump of all the clothes that him and his sister had bought over this day for her because she needed certain formal clothes for certain events, all in a clump. She didn't take a single one. And there's a note that's typed out, signed Savage, saying that she left and everything, and he knows that his mother has written all over it. So he bumps into the sister and is like, did you know? And she's just like trying to double down on like, no, she took money and she left, she doesn't care about us. And she's like, I was like, I don't believe you because we both know what type of person she is, and we both know she cared very deeply about you. And Sylvie's just pushing her away and treating her horribly, because there was also a scene after she left the salon where Sylvie also treated her horribly. So Summer snapped and just like, I've been there for you for everything. I've tried to be there. I've tried to be a friend. I've tried to do everything. You're just treating me horrible. And like, Whit gets to the point where he says, because the mum is called Sylvia and the daughter is called Sylvie. And he's like, in his mind, he's like, my mother is a manipulator and my little sister is becoming one. And literally, he goes search through stuff, and then he finds his mum's like, no, I bribed her, she took money. And he's like, that makes no sense. If she took the money, why didn't she take any of the dresses? And he's just like, no, I'm going to find her, and we're not going to have a relationship or anything. He's like, I have to go find her, but she doesn't want to be found. Okay, we get to that point. And then it jumps to 16 months in the future in Paris. Okay? Where she's just out living her best life, eating pastries, shopping, going to the Louvre, taking classes in France. And basically, the only we do get a scene before then, I forgot to see. She goes to her mum. She's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. The guilt is eating me alive. I can't stay here anymore. I need to leave. I'll take my GED. I have enough credits to graduate early. Just let me leave. And like, she's having a full-on breakdown. And the mum finally confesses that actually, no, it was her fault the fire starts, because she found out what the brother was doing, and then he threatened her as well and threatened her daughter. So she took matters into her own hands, which ultimately led to the fire starting. And that was the real reason. The fact that she's let her daughter live with this guilt, though, even though, because her daughter's already told her this. She already knows what the daughter thinks she is the reason for the fire, and she's let her daughter live with this guilt since the fire, which is an awful thing to do, I have to say. That is not nice at all. But she has been living with that guilt, and she's like, I need to leave. And the mum's like, okay, you have money from your stepfather, he left you some for college or for whatever. We'll graduate you early, you take it, and you can just go. Just go find what you want to do. And that's what she does. She leaves for Europe and goes travelling around Europe. But she like gets rid of her old phone, she gets rid of her own number, deactivates all her social media, she just gets rid of everything and kind of just leaves because she's just like, I can't do this anymore. Anyway, we get 16 months in the future where she bumps into Monty in Paris, because they're the only people who have been talking to each other. It's like, I'm in Paris, let's hang out, let's go for and they have a couple of days. It's like, we should go to a fancy dinner together. So the whole RSP puts her in a very, very not conservative dress for this party. When she gets up to the party, it's only got 2 seats, and it's for her and Whit. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because that chapter was my favourite chapter, and I think you should read the book so you can read it. But it was so cute, because he actually confronted her emotion, and I was like, honestly, I think the end chapters were my favourite chapters, because like, it was like 11 o'clock at night when I was reading the end chapters, and I was like, no, I need to. Oh, the end chapters were my favourite. I honestly really love this book. Monty and Summer are some of my favourite characters. I'm not quite sure how I feel about Sylvie. She is on the fence, because she did treat Summer horribly, even though Summer was trying to be her all the time for her, but Sylvie would literally disappear for weeks on time without telling her, without giving her any information. And she's like, you can tell me, I'm there for you. I'm also not going to like constantly be on about your illness like everyone else is in your life. I just want to be there for you. And she just won't. And honestly, their relationship is stated to never be the same in the epilogue, because this one has a 5-year jump at the end of the book, so you can see what their future is like. And she's just like, also, apparently something happens with the mother as well, which is really why I want to read Sylvie's book, because there's like hints that the mum's doing something nefarious with Sylvie and her medication and her illness. And like, Sylvie hints at it a couple of times, and like, everyone else like, no, surely not. The mum loves her children that much. She wouldn't be harming one of them, right? And then there's pleased to at the end, because they're like, they do get together in the end. I'm just going to say that. But in the epilogue, it's just like, yeah, and the mum comes round, the dad comes round, Whit's mother is not allowed anywhere near their grandchild or them after what happened. And it's like, it didn't say what happened, so now I really need to read this book to find out what happened. But anyway, let's go out of the book as a whole. I didn't want to say exactly what happened in the ending chapter because it was my favourite chapter, and I do feel like you should read the ending chapter. But it was really good. I honestly really loved this book. It was such a good read. The fact that I did read it in a day, you can tell because it's like slowly separating. But, I'm going to read one of her books next probably. But such a good read. Would recommend. If you like dark romances, manipulation, blackmail, smut is like a very heavy part in this. But if you also like kind of manipulation game style, morally grey characters that have a bit of a dark past that like connect to each other on that level, I feel like you'll really like this. I feel like this is a really good read. I did really enjoy it. The characters all had strong development points. You also got a feel of all the characters. I would highly recommend this book. But anyway, my question to you is, what are you currently reading? And you should go read